You can still see the bullet holes etched into the altar stone. Madame Refranchi saw her younger daughter, who was sitting next to her, killed by a machine gun bullet as they attempted to find shelter in the vestry. Madame Refranchi then ran to the altar end of the church, where she found a stepladder used to light the candles. Placing the ladder behind the altar, she climbed up and threw herself through the window and out onto the ground some 10 feet below. As she picked herself up, a woman holding a baby tried to follow, but they were seen by the soldiers, and both the woman and her child were machine-gunned and killed. In spite of being shot and wounded 5 times, Madame Refranchi managed to escape to nearby gardens until she was found the following day. Towards the end of 1943, the 2nd SS Panzer Division Das Reich was moved from Russia to southern France, so that they could be re-equipped and retrained. One of Das Reich's young officers was Adolf Deichmann, who had been severely wounded fighting the French in 1940. He had been shot through the lung and had spent several years as an instructor on light duties at the SS Officer Training School at Bad Tolz. Before going to Russia in the autumn of 1943, another officer was Deichmann's friend Helmut Kampf, who had already spent several years in Russia and had recently won the Knight's Cross for his bravery in halting a Russian tank attack. The resistance was active around the area of Oradour, but they could not do much serious damage to Das Reich. But they could and did irritate the troops a great deal, in the same way that midges can spoil a picnic. These attacks continued, and then on the 8th of June, the FTP resistance tried to liberate the town of Toul from the occupying German garrison. In the battle that followed, the FTP came close to capturing all the German troops. But before they could quite finish the job, that evening Das Reich arrived to the rescue. The SS made short work of the undisciplined and poorly armed resistance fighters, who were soon in full retreat. When the Germans had secured the town, they found that the resistance had killed and mutilated some surrendered garrison troops, so reprisals were called for. The SS rounded up all the men that they could find, and after questioning them briefly, selected 120 of them to be hung from lampposts as a warning to the resistance and anyone thinking of helping them. There was no proof that these 120 men were actually members of the resistance, but that did not matter to the SS. After 99 had been hung, the soldiers ran out of rope, and so the remainder were not killed on the spot, but deported to Germany as slave labourers. The drama of Oradour lasted only a few hours. Those few hours were sufficient to wipe out 642 human lives. 328 constructions were destroyed. General de Gaulle wanted to preserve the ruins of Oradour in order to bear witness for the rest of mankind to the consequences of the brutality and barbarity of war. The ruins are those of a little village which was just like hundreds of others in France and around the world. These stones laid bare by the passage of time were those of a living community.